Good afternoon, everybody. How you doing? Sweet Paddy from across the shuck, and you're very welcome. This is another I done it again video. Uh, I bought something I swore I wasn't going to buy again. And I really do mean it when I say it. I genuinely mean it in my heart. I'm thinking, never am I buying that again. Wasn't that long ago that I said it again. And I've done it again. I've broken it. But at this time, I think I've broken it for the right reason. I have bought three bug outs in my time. One from the earliest when they first sort of come out. I think Lee with knives, love them knives. Lee over there, I bought one of him and he sent it over to the UK. We didn't have them here at the time. I adored it when it came, absolutely adored it. Beautiful light knife. And then everybody started to pick holes in it. Everybody loved it and everybody bought it. Then they picked holes. The scales were floppy. Didn't affect the usage. I used mine. It's not a hard use knife, but I used it, in boxes, whatever, round the house jobs. It's not a hard use knife. It's just an EDC knife. And I loved it. But then I started to get frustrated, not with even myself, but with everybody else buying the aftermarket scales. My opinion on buying aftermarket scales, titanium or aluminium, whatever you want to buy and add to a plastic knife, it enhances the knife. But to me, when you're having to do that, and don't forget, you got the price of the knife originally, and then you're going to add more stuff to it. To me, in my collecting, you bought the wrong knife. You really have. And I done it another two times. I bought the wrong knife because I was frustrated that, I don't know, I just got frustrated with the fact that everybody moaned about the plastic scales. And at the beginning, the price wasn't that bad. I think they were 130 maybe at the most when they first came out, which was quite a high price for S30V and plastic even back then, but it was livable with. Most of us who wanted would have saved up and got one. And they're probably the most bought knife this last decade at least. I think it's probably the most bought knife for Benchmade. Definitely for Benchmade. This is still a great seller, and it's nearly 25 years old. And I mean, this is the love of my life. This really is. It was my first proper what I called high-end knife at the time. It's now vastly expensive. It's about 180, 190 pound, if not more, here in the UK. Uh, this version is about 170, 180 pound, but it's in 20 CV, and I'm still not sure whether this is. It's titanium, but I've only ever seen them in titanium. But the fellow who sold to me said this was aluminium. I don't care. It is fantastic looking, and it feels so rich. This is aluminium too, but I have a funny feeling this is titanium. It's heavily milled out. If you can see, it's really heavily milled out, which is why it's got a weight of 2.3, which is the same as a Delica, right? Plastic scales, smaller blade. Um, but the original Benchmade was, or the Bugout, the original Bugout was 1.8, I think, just over 1.8. This one came, this is a workshop one that came with 20 CV and the yellow scales. The bloke had bought the workshop one, and in that package he's got two spare springs for here and black hardware, which they I think they must have done it when they were doing this. But this was a lovely looking knife, but it was still plastic at 170, 180 pound, maybe more. I'm not sure, because I don't do that much research, because it's just a knife that I loved when it was, but then I got frustrated with everybody else and the changing up of it, and it put me off it completely. It just destroyed me having the knife. And then the prices started to go up, and that just finished it. And I swore I wouldn't buy another one. I got this wee clone to use for size comparisons. But now I have this beautiful S20V, or 20CV, I should say, 20CV limited edition. I'm not sure how many they've done, but I changed these red thumb studs from my clone and the backspacer from my clone and put them on here. And I think it is just gorgeous. There was a bronze or a brass thumb stud in it, nothing else, just a brass something. It was black back here. So I liked it, it was all right, but having the wee flash either end just makes it super. Didn't cost me a penny. That's the sort of upgrading I like to do. So the goat is still the goat because it's still selling and it's still out there. But I honestly do the titanium, 20 CV better blade steel is the future for Benchmade, and I think they're losing out to other people selling the titanium scales, on top of their knives. So people are buying a cheaper version of the knife where it doesn't cost that much more to stick a nice pair of aluminium or titanium scales on, and you have an absolutely super, super EDC knife. I mean, it genuinely is just a super knife. I mean, I loved it in use. It was never the problem. The blade steel S30V was never really a problem. Well, it's not a problem. S30V is a great steel. One of my favourite mid-range steels. I know it's the first jump on the powdered steel, but I absolutely love it. And having these two knives now is just amazing. I absolutely love it. I actually bought another one at the Sharp Show, but this is an older one. This is a Presidio. Is it the Light? Presidio Light. This is just another super life hollow grind in it, which I love it. These are flat hollow grind, really grippy. This is meant for the black. This is a black class knife, and if you see up there, good gosh, come on, can't get this to see it all. Anyway, it's 440C Mel Purdue design, just a super, super little knife. This is old, but it was brand new in box, old stock in box. It was a fella selling his whole collection, and his son was there at the show, and I got this for 50 quid, which was just an absolute bargain for a mint. I'm not sure when this came out, but I'm sure it was quite a few years ago. The Mini Presidio, or the Presidio Light. It's just a super EDC knife. It's a little bit smaller than the Bugout, but because of the handle, which is quite thick, the Bugout, even the titanium, look at that, how thin that is compared to that. It's an absolute corker. I love it. For 50 quid, 440C, this is a beater. Doesn't look like it because it's brand new and I haven't used it much. I've just checked the edge and done it, and it cuts like a treat. It really does. So I've now got three beautiful Benchmades. Probably the only thing I could possibly think about getting might be a heavy duty Benchmade, as in the Adomus. But I don't want the big expensive one. I just want an ordinary priced one. And that might be me complete with Benchmade. There's nothing else in their line that appeals to me. The Adomus, I've never held one, but it's one I would like to have. Whether I would keep it or not, I don't know. But it would definitely be the small. I think they do a small and a large version. It would be the small version. As long as it fits in my hand right, it's okay. You know what I mean? We'll try that. So there you go. And just another little bit of info. I had quite a few Spydercos the other week. Ask me how many I've got now. Well, yes, I'm going to give you the answer. I've got this one. I traded all the other ones. Yeah, even my Maximum, it's gone. What else did I have? I can't even remember what I had now. I've done that much trading. I've just traded today for a Spidey Chef again. And I'm going to talk about buying. I mean, this is, I don't know how many times I bought this, and then I bought this now after saying I wouldn't. The Spidey Chef I loved it, but it was a while back. I needed money to buy more stock for the channel, so I let it go, and I have regretted it ever since, because I used my Spidey Chef, and although it's not ultra thin behind the edge, I loved it in the kitchen. I felt like Gordon Ramsay when I had it in my hand. So I've done a trade today. That'll be coming shortly, and you'll see that again. So I'm going to start building up a few Spydercos again, because they're all away. It's madness. This hobby is madness, but ever such great fun. I just endure it, adore it, endure it, adore it. So this is me. This will be the future goat. I have no doubt. And I think the sooner Benchmade put better scales on and bring that price down a bit. But I don't mind a titanium and a 20 CV, £200. I could go for that. I would probably buy that after handling this, definitely, because this is a beautiful knife, an absolutely stunning knife. It just looks so different, feels so different. It doesn't even remind me of a Bugout at all. Look how classy it looks compared to that Bugout. Look how classy. So, there you go. Probably droned on a bit too long, but I'm just really glad to have it in my collection, and I'm so looking forward to my Spidey Chef. So they're just knives that I've had and I've passed on, and I've been watching some lovely videos at the minute about things like that. Rasputin's Castle, Richter Knives done another lovely one yesterday. There are two videos you should go and watch yesterday. They're quite long videos, but they need to be long because there's quite a lot talking about. Rasputin's Castle was talking about, you know, the option, instead of buying cheaper knives, brand new cheaper knives, buy second-hand knives, because you get a better class of knife at the same price as you're going to pay for a budget knife sometimes. But it's worth having a watch of his video. I really enjoyed it. And then Richter done one on knives that he got rid of and then wanted back again. How many times do we do that? And this is one tomorrow, the Spidey Chef. I can't wait to have it back again. Can't wait. So, take care, everybody. Paddy's away for a wee cup of tea. Thanks very much for watching. If you stuck this long, you're amazing. Please do me a favour, hit that like button. I'm not monetized anymore, so you got no adverts. Well, I hope you haven't any adverts. So this my way of getting it out there. If you want to share it, that would be amazing. And if you're not a subscriber, hit that subscribe button. That doesn't cost anything. And that just lets you see when I make some more of these crap videos. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye now.